Thank you for being here. We'd like to start the process going back to where you were before you got here, before you reached out to us. Where were you living? Kind of like, what were you doing? What did life look like where you were previously?
We were living in Maryland, just outside of DC, and we had been there for about 13 years. Had moved down after we went to graduate school and bounced around and ended up being in North Bethesda for a while.
Yeah.
North Bethesda is like the suburb?
Yeah.
That it was in? Okay. Mm-hmm. How far from DC was it?
Depended on traffic.
Distance or time? Because those are two very different.
How about both?
So my office was pretty much right smack downtown. I was about 6 miles. During rush hour, that's about an hour and 15 to an hour and 20.
Okay. Golly. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I said. Distance or time.
Yeah.
Just two
Very
different
different thing.
Holy cow. Okay. 6 miles an hour, 15 in rush hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Could be longer on the way home. If I tried to leave around like 3:34 just to avoid rush hour.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
And did you ever commute?
Well, I worked remotely, but was headquartered in Annapolis.
Okay.
So that took about an hour every time I went in, which was surprising because I don't know the mileage, but definitely more than 5.
Probably 50.
Yeah, 50 miles. And so, yeah.
Crazy. But it was like the other way. Right. Yeah. Okay.
It's a jog.
That's nuts.
Billy driving to St. Cloud every day.
Yes, hour 15 would be. Yeah, crazy. Or Rochester. Looks like nobody really does that kind of. Yeah, maybe some, but okay, cool, crazy. What was the neighborhood like, Bethesda itself?
Yeah, so this was like a nice, affluent neighborhood that was starting to be. You started to have like a changeover from, folks who had bought when the neighborhood first was developed in the 80s. And then we were in townhouses, a really good school district, which isn't part of the reason why we bought over there. And it was on the metro, so you could take it in theory into the city pretty easily. But it also had been more developed, so there was a lot of shops and stuff there.
Okay, very cool. Could you at least get most of your errands done?
Yeah.
Within the
Yeah, we had been living 20, 30 minutes away on the other side of the metro and always drove over there. So it really cut down how much time we were spending doing errands on the weekends.
How many suburbs are between DC and there? Is there
only one?
Oh, great. So it's a second ring suburb?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it was just outside. If people know anything about the DC area, it was just outside of the Beltway. Literally, you got off right on the other side of the Beltway, which is kind of the defining characteristic of if you're close or not.
Yeah.
So
that's almost like Richfield or Bloomington.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Very close.
Yeah. Nuts. Okay. Very cool. So what were some of the leading kind of factors in bringing you here? Was it work related? Was it just lifestyle related?
I think
Jason?
both.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, all things point to Jason all the time. If he hears that, he'd be very excited. So, he still went to St. Olaf down in Northfield. He's from Iowa, so I always say once the Midwesterner, you always want to get back.
Some of that, yeah, sure.
But, we moved to D.C., Maryland after we went to grad school, and they say, you're either there for 5 years or less, or you're there for life. That's generally how it goes, and we were there for 13 years.
Yeah.
But we always had, hopes of getting back to the Midwest.
Okay.
Yeah, we moved there with a whole group of friends, and they slowly were able to figure out how to leave.
Yeah.
One by one, they made it back to the Midwest. And so as the years ticked on, I was less hopeful that we were going to make it. And finally, probably at 10 years was okay, this is never going to happen. We're just here and I need to accept it. And then jobs started opening up for Riaz. And he applied to them and things worked out.
Yeah.
Cool. What industry are?
I'm in that energy industry.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. So just wanting to for lifestyle was why you did. And then it was more of finding a job that allowed you to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and then we always knew his was more, he had a better chance at finding something than I would out here. We were unclear whether or not my job would let me move or not, but mine's very much more of a DC centric position working on federal policy.
Yeah.
So the goal was always to make sure that he could find something, and then we would figure what I was going to do with life out.
Yeah. Well, did your job let you go?
Yeah, I'm really lucky that they're very supportive. And one of the great things about the Twin Cities is with the airport and being able to get direct flights to the East Coast really easily, I can fly back as frequently as needed.
Yeah. What is that flight?
So I fly into BWI on Southwest.
Okay. A couple hours?
Yeah, 2 hours at most.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. Very cool.
That's short.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. The last 2 times I've flown, I've been delayed on the way home, and that's been painful. But that's weather related, not airline related.
Yeah. Crazy.
But that is one of the things, like the Minneapolis airport, you can get a lot of places really conveniently.
Yeah.
Like that's super nice coming from DC. You know, we had 3 airports within 35 minutes of us.
I think for a while, Rios was very much like an airline snob and was like, I will not fly anywhere. We have to do a layover.
Yeah.
It was like a direct only. And like now we can still make that happen.
I still prefer direct wherever I can get them. So
Yeah. Yeah. One airport is bad enough, or 2 on each end is bad enough.
Yeah.
A third in the middle is,
it's a nightmare.
We also do have kind of the luxury of most places you can get direct to.
Yeah.
Unless they're like small markets or whatever.
Yeah.
But okay. Was there anywhere else in the Midwest that you were thinking about?
Yeah, we had gone through a few. We had Des Moines on the list. We had Chicago, but that was pretty easily taken off just because the commute time and traffic is like headache. So we weren't gaining much there. The Twin Cities really was like the best place for us because we knew, having gone to Olaf and having a lot of friends here, as well as some law school friends, that we were walking into like a community, which is one thing we lacked in DC. Was with everyone having left, we no longer had a support system and family wasn't close. So that was really important for us, was to find a place where we could walk into a supportive community to help us.
Yeah.
I also think Minneapolis has all the amenities that you want with a big city, like, all major sports. You have, good galleries, you have theme parks, you pretty much have everything that what you would consider a tier 1 city to have without a lot of the downsides of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Riaz, being from Toronto, the sports teams are important for him. Like any big city we were looking at, Des Moines didn't have that. So it was hard to keep that one on.
I mean, they see the Blue Jays fans down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pick your favorite border state. My whole family's from Des Moines, so
Yeah. Yeah. And they're, no matter what, it's quite a drive,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Was when you were kind of working through where it would be, would you, if a job came up in Des Moines, would you have considered it? Or did you like kind of say, nah, we just don't want to be there?
Well, so the other place we looked was Charlotte. In part, we were going through, Riaz was working at a trade association, so we were going through its member companies to really figure out where he could transfer to easily.
Yeah.
He had a member company here. He had a member company in Charlotte. I have family in Charlotte. It's close to my parents in Charleston. So we really narrowed it down to Charlotte and here.
Okay. I feel like I remember that a little bit, but yeah. Okay.
Schools are pretty good there too, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, I've heard that.
Interesting. Was it just the job came up first here, or was there a deciding factor that put Minneapolis over the edge?
There are a number of deciding factors, I think, including the fact that like we have 2 kids, we're a mixed race couple. It's hard to go farther south than Maryland with those dynamics and expect to have a good community you're walking into necessarily. So that was one of the factors, was why Minneapolis just fit well, and then also having the friends and support system already here.
Yeah.
Not that my sister isn't supportive. Yeah. I love you, Nicole, but we just had more of it here.
And I think the climate here is, being in DC, it doesn't snow that much, and then in the middle of summer, it's just hot and muggy.
Yeah.
The climate.
Yeah, he's a Canadian boy.
And I'm Canadian. So, like, the climate here is way closer to what we both grew up with.
You're like, I'm going to go further south?
Yeah, exactly.
We never, we maybe, since our kids were born, had 1 major snowfall, maybe 1.5. So, like...
The irony in all of this is they got more snow this year than we did here.
Yeah, in DC.
Oh, that's funny. Really?
Yeah, our kids complained every time.
Yeah.
They were like, why did we move? We could be sledding right now. And I was like, this is not normal.
Yeah, it's been very rainy.
They had that snow down in Texas and Florida, and
Yeah.
it was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been the sort of the humidity, the almost like oppressive nature of like. It hasn't been that crazy here. We've had some days that are like pretty swampy.
Yeah.
And then with the air quality too that's been going on, the fires, that's been.
Last night I read the light because it was cool. I was like,
It was still nice outside. Yeah, we actually went out to dinner and we were sitting outside and we're like, if it could be like this forever.
this is crazy. Yeah, and not super dry, but the air was
Such an obscure thing that we almost specifically deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, the air quality maps. Northern Wisconsin gets it too, but
it was very strange, but and that feels pretty new to us.
yeah, it's definitely not something I remember.
So the irony of all of this is the job that I took here is I work on wildfire pulse. I mean, that's
right. I remember you saying that.
So now, we've experienced it once on the East Coast, but like this summer, it's been more wildfires than I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least we haven't had the orange skies this year. I mean, that a few years ago. That was scary.
The moon's been a little bit. The moon.
Yeah.
But nothing like what we saw.
I remember it was New York City 2 years ago, I think. Orange, red skies.
Yeah.
Yeah. San Francisco in 2020 looked like Blade Runner. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but it was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Had you been to Minnesota?
Yes.
Good question.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I've been here. So I had been here once before, and it was actually when our oldest daughter was born. Kisa was still on maternity leave, and I had a conference here, and they were like, "Why don't you just come out with me? And like, you can go see your friend, and like, I can go to work and do that." And I was downtown, right by like, it's the old Mayo Clinic building. I don't know where you're over on the outside.
What about Lifetime and stuff like that? Yeah.
Western, but that was the only time I had been in Minnesota.
Okay.
So it was a real leap of faith on your part to be like, okay, well, I got to trust Keisha that she knows what's best for the family.
I said those exact
No, he never uttered them. But looking back on it, like you really did trust me on making this decision because you hadn't spent a lot of time here.
Yeah.
But I will also say he tends to surround himself with Midwesterners. The majority of his like best friends are all Midwesterners. And I was like, clearly there is something you like about us, like the married one. So
I do feel Canada has a kinship for sure.
Yeah.
Like all of Canada, even it's kind of crazy. It's there's the niceness, the sorry, yeah, exactly, yeah.
But I mean, I enjoyed it. That was like August, so it was similar to what we are now. Like it was nice, and like you hear just through like traveling all the good things about Minnesota. I mean Minneapolis, Minnesota in general, but particularly Minneapolis, and it did help that Jason was here. So like you have one person at least that is here.
True. Which for people watching, Jason and Lindsay were on the podcast. Y'all met them in law school. They were from Austin.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's who we were talking about.
Yeah. So when we say Jason, that you can watch that episode.
Yes.
Yeah. But okay. And where did y'all go to law school with them, by the way?
in Vermont.
Okay, cool. Where else had you lived previous? Just out of curiosity. Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto.
So I've lived a bunch of different places. Went to school just south of the Twin Cities, lived in Chicago, Tampa, Charleston, Vermont.
DC.
DC. I was in Hawaii. I was over in Copenhagen. So like I've been a few places. DC was like the longest outside of Iowa though.
Okay.
I grew up in Toronto. I lived in Ottawa. That's where I did undergrad. Then Vermont. I lived in New York. I lived in DC, and then here.
Okay. Crazy. Cool. Yeah. Y'all have lived more places than most people probably on the show. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So was there anything I get mostly you because you've only been here more limited. Was there anything in particular that you were worried about or doubtful?
I have one that I kept hammering, and you saw it as a positive, and I was like, I don't think you understand what winter is like.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it's very different than Toronto. Like it will be frigid, and like you get snow in Toronto, but you do not get like negative 100 below.
Yeah.
And with winds. And you kept being like, it'll be fine. I was like, I'm not sure it will be. Like, this could take us a while to adjust.
I assume this is an abnormal winter. Like, it wasn't the cold unless it's the wind. Like the wind here was insane.
Yeah. And I would say this last winter was like kind of a middle of the road winter, not crazy snow. Definitely had some real cold.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, we either get super snowy or just super cold without much snow. This was kind of a mix of the two. Kind of. Huh?
I used to visit friends in North Dakota, and I think that's where real cold is.
Yeah, because that wind is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I've also lived here my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not mild. That's crazy. But yeah, it's
Like we in Maryland, we're lucky if it got down to 10.
Yeah.
Like we never
Very
got
rarely.
negatives.
yeah.
When I went to school in Ames too, I felt like that was colder than here because it's flatter and windier. You know, but yeah, it does get chilly here in the winter.
Yeah.
For sure.
I like it because I don't have to deal with muddy dog paws.
Yeah. Chili's a bit of an understatement, but yeah, I think.
It's a thing people don't talk about. It's just like the unwritten thing you deal with if you move to Minneapolis. They're like, oh, here are all the positives, and then there's the winter.
Yeah. And then there's other people who catastrophize the cold, or they're like, there's no way I could ever live there. And it's like, yeah, you could.
Yeah.
You know, you could.
We'll adjust.
Yeah. A bunch of people do. And so you could too, you know.
Rios went out and bought like that most heavy duty winter gear I've ever seen. So he's ready.
Didn't get heated gloves at Costco.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're well prepared for it here.
We didn't know about heated, or I didn't know about
They
heated.
heated vest. Yeah, I kept this is
Like
like
everybody-
everyone had one. I was like, what's going on with your
Keep
vest?
some hand warmers in the glove box. Yeah, we're good.
Especially
My fiance about rainbows and she just loves it.
Yeah.
We embrace the winter here too. We have a video on that. I mean, people are doing a lot of stuff. It's not like you can stay inside and like shack up, but people really embrace it and get outdoors.
Yeah.
You don't have to be hermit to that.
Yeah.
No.
Especially with kids. I mean, some of my best memories as a kid are in the winter,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I will say our kids are much hardier than we are. I like sent Riaz out and I'd be like, okay, see you in a few hours.
Yeah.
Stayed inside.
Yeah, kids are hours.
They're
Yeah.
immune to like temperature, whether it's hot or cold. Like it's irrelevant to them.
Yeah, their bodies just like create the heat.
Yeah.
It's that good circulation.
Yeah.
Probably yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you got here, or you decided to move here. I can't even remember if you just reached out to us or if Jason put you in touch
Jason
with
put
us.
us in touch.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about Jason? And then the process was, I seem to recall, was kind of hybrid, remote and in person.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a quick time frame. So when he got the offer, we had, I think, 7 weeks to get here.
Yeah.
And that was, we were already on vacation, had a second vacation in there and work travel, in addition to trying to sell our house and buy a house and get here before school started.
Or you got the job offer while on vacation.
Yeah.
You're
Over
like,
the forest.
it's like sweet, but you're also like, God, I'm on vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
We were with my in-laws, so it's great for announcing that we were moving to Peaceful because we were all in one spot.
True.
Or I guess we were with my parents.
You're with your parents, but it's like trying to have a conversation and everyone's like, when you're on vacation, the kids are there, your in-laws are there, like, we need to have a conversation.
About what we're doing in life.
Yeah. Crazy. But okay, so then remind me, how did that go? When you reached out to us, I think we Zoomed, right?
Yeah.
And then did you come here? Right?
So I think the way I remember, at least, is we did the Zoom and we kind of gave you our parameters of what we were thinking, and you had some places in mind. And then, so I came out one weekend and you took me around a couple different neighborhoods that met kind of what we were looking for and getting a feel of it. And then I think following that, it was like 2 weekends later, we were visiting my family for a wedding in Toronto. And we had already booked our travel, and we were supposed to be in Toronto for a week. So Kisa flew to Toronto, from Toronto to Minneapolis to come look at specific houses with you.
Yeah.
And then flew back for the wedding.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts. I remember you telling us that like people do this and it's going to be okay, because it was a little overwhelming, because at the same time we were getting our place ready to sell.
Yeah.
And you being like, you don't have to come out a second time. And I'm like, I have trust issues.
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming out to see these houses. We're not doing this blinds. Like I need to see it and make sure that it feels right too.
Yeah.
So yeah, Riaz did the neighborhoods, and then I was in charge of, once neighborhoods were narrowed down, finding the house.
Yeah. And we narrowed down neighborhood pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty. I want to say it was like, was at a schools was a certainty, or near a certainty.
Near certainty. We had it down to like Plymouth, Edina. You had looked at.
I can't remember about that Eden Prairie.
No, yeah, Eden Prairie was on the list. So those were the 3 that we actually looked at houses there.
Yeah. And we got after it, if I recall.
Yeah.
I think
That was
I mean, you and I we all of us went
Yeah.
to town for the day and a half.
We did a
2
handful
days.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember mostly Plymouth, maybe a few in Edina. Yeah. I remember someone else being with us too. I don't know if it was a parent or something, or if it was just you and I.
It was just us.
It was just, yeah.
We just went to town, found 2 houses, and that was
Yeah.
the story.
And very interesting for y'all to both be here, but never together.
Right.
Yeah. Looking at the same stuff. So,
Yeah.
But at least there was alignment on locations,
Yeah.
And then it's just,
Yeah.
houses, a lot of houses could work. And
Yeah.
it's just a matter of which house worked best.
Yeah, none of the houses would have been bad options. They were just a ranking of what was better.
Yeah.
And I seem to recall a lot of, we narrowed it down pretty quickly. So there's all right, there's a top 2 or something like that. And but then, can you get it for what you want and all that stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, there was definitely this feeling that we were moving to the Midwest. And so it's more affordable here and we can get a house that we wouldn't have been able to afford in Maryland easily.
Yeah.
And so there's definitely back and forth on what we needed versus what we didn't, how comfortable we were going, at the same time not knowing what we would sell our other house for, and trying to squeeze it all in with a 30-day or less closing time because we wanted to be in before school started.
Yeah.
Know what school district we needed to enroll our kids in and to get here.
Totally.
And I remember looking at we had talked about the potential of renting before we bought our house. Oh, yeah. That was a way to bridge it a little bit. And the neighborhoods we were looking at, rentals just aren't great.
And they're so hard to find.
Yeah.
Right.
There's so few of them, or they're pretty underwhelming.
Yeah.
It's a huge gap between those rentals and what you bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge gaps.
So that
Trying to figure out more logistics, where we would store our stuff,
Yeah.
and all of that. I was just I can't add that right now. I got enough on my plate. We're gonna find something, and this is going to
Make it
work.
work, yeah. Plus, then
Put it out there in the universe. Let's hope it happens.
yeah. And what elementary school do your girls go to at the rental? Is it the same as where you
Exactly.
That's so hard to. Elementary school areas are so small.
Yeah.
So if you're cool, we want to make sure we're going to that. It's well, now you've just shrunk your home search down so much.
Yeah.
To
just
an area of an elementary school. It's tough.
Well, and I think we had it narrowed to 2. The irony in some of this is that we got redistricted, so they're actually going to the other one. So we were familiar with both areas.
Yeah. Crazy. They are elementary school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The deadline was just school, right? But
One
day, yeah.
did you start work before y'all moved in? Did you come in temporarily?
I was able to they worked with me so that basically we could get the family here and then start.
Yeah, I think we were set. We got into the house on Saturday. We had Sunday to kind of figure out where our clothes were. And then Monday you start.
Yeah.
Whoa.
As
crazy.
the girls and I unpacked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, crazy. Was
Well done.
yeah. Yeah, that's
First
crazy.
time we don't speak about except for on podcasts.
Yeah. The crazy zone. Okay.
Good job spinning the plates.
You only made one offer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the house had been chilling a little bit. Well,
Yeah.
crazy, but
It was, dog days of summer.
yeah.
That's what we're in right now. And we always say, it's not a bad time to be a buyer.
Yeah.
The inventory isn't crazy, but it's easier to get. If you find a house and you're I like this, it's easier to get.
Yeah.
People are
I think
out and
the biggest problem we had was that they had wanted us to, they didn't want to move out for,
that's right. And
it was
September.
Yeah, I think it was end of September. And I was no, can't,
That's a lot why we're coming here right now. Yeah. That's why we're offering our house right now is so that we can move before then. Mm-hmm. Okay. How'd you get your stuff here? Then pods, movers.
Mover.
Yeah.
Like a cross-country mover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know were they good?
We had used them before
Okay.
for our kind of move in Maryland, so we liked them. They were really
I
good.
remember their names.
Town and Country.
Yeah, it's Mountain Country Mover.
Country. Cool. So they were really good.
Did a good job. Mm-hmm. Cool. And it's kind of the easy button where they just kind of do everything.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
packing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Nice. And with your timeline, the last thing you want to do is spend 2 weeks packing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and we had sold a bunch of stuff. The people who bought our place took some of it. So we had significantly downsized in the move.
Yeah.
And then,
I'm curious about, obviously the affordability here is considerably better than DC area.
Yeah.
Any thought on what your house in a similar neighborhood would cost over there?
yeah, it would be double easily.
Yeah.
Pushing 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. So
That's wild.
wouldn't have been what we could afford in Maryland.
Yeah. Because it was sub 1 million, right? Mm-hmm, yeah.
Just under.
Yeah. So it would have been, that's crazy. Yeah. For in a similar house. And I mean, I got to imagine drive times to the city like literally don't exist in a neighborhood like that. Yeah. Is there anywhere that it has a similar neighborhood in DC with similar schools and similar commute times?
No, not
No.
at all.
It's like literally an impossibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so wild.
Yeah. Crazy. But
It's pretty much a new build, isn't it? More or less. Like 4-year.
yeah.
Like what I call like a 2 build, but yeah.
Yeah.
We're on 22 or something.
Yeah. Where they've done so we kind of like those sort of the value proposition of those where somebody's lived in them. I remember talking to y'all about this where it's like you could buy new, but then you're going to have to buy window treatments and closet organization.
Yeah.
I know-
Deck,
The deck.
the gutters.
Yeah.
It was so many things you pointed out.
And they did, that was pretty complete in that regard, right?
They did. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
Were they installing a fence at that time?
No, we put that in.
You put the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
And they were installing the HOA was installing like a little deck. Okay.
The HOA had taken over part because we're right in the entrance to our community. So they had taken out some like invasives that had grown and tried to make it pretty up front. So they were doing the landscaping.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's been pretty chill there. I know the road is like right behind as well.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely can hear it. But overall, it's like not bad.
Yeah. Good. Workable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Is okay. So then
But I will say that your advice on the 2-year house or like newly built house that somebody's lived in was like great because we were considering one of the things that we had talked about is do we rent for a year while we build, because there are so many of these communities that are houses still popping up and you could customize it, and that seems like a dream in some ways and a nightmare in others. And then you walked us through like the benefits of being able to have a house that had been lived in, and that just seemed to make more sense at the time.
because I mean deck, gutters,
Yeah.
window treatments, closet organization, 40, 50 grand pretty easily.
Yeah.
You know, and time.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and just kind of that awkward stage.
You got some nice trees behind the house too, if memory serves, and some spruce trees.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, neighborhoods can be quite bare. Was that a Stonegate build?
No,
No.
Hanson.
Hanson.
Sure. One of the things we learned is there were 2 builders in our kind of community, and a lot of them, they didn't even finish their basements as part of the build. So like we have a full, like we have the sports court on one side, but you guys saw our basement, like the bar and the TV, like some of the neighbors are like, I wish, we had this done it, because they're realizing like after the fact to go in and do a basement, it's way more expensive.
It's very expensive. Yeah. If you can squeak into a neighborhood and not finish the basement, I understand why people do it. But those basements often sit unfinished for a long time because of how much harder it is, and you can't like wrap it into a loan, right? So it's like cash. Yeah, cash or some other loan that you're taking that's even more expensive. And so if possible to wrap it in, I think it's very smart to do so. But yeah, okay, that's cool though. I'm glad that you sort of like have reaped the benefits of that, and and obviously I'm sure there's still things you could do to the yard and stuff like that, but
there is.
Have a list of projects.
totally, yeah.
It's just a shorter list.
Oh, they cooked. Wasn't there a sauna too?
Yeah, it's a sauna there.
Which is one of those things where like they didn't get their money back for that sauna.
Right.
They put a lot of money into that sauna, and it doesn't increase the value. That's something you do because you want it.
Yeah.
But
It's like an year-round pool.
Yeah.
yeah,
Negative value here.
yeah.
Well, and it wasn't on our list of must-haves.
Yeah.
But Ria's for sure uses
like,
it all the time.
I would have never been like, what we need him. It's on. But now it's like, it's there. Of course, I'm going to take advantage of it.
Is that a steam, like a steam one or like an infrared?
It's a
With
steam.
the steam.
Whereas
It's like the real deal.
OG.
Yeah. It's very nice though. Yeah.
Well, and when it was like -20s, the girls went in and loved it. So
Totally. Yeah.
It's good for your overall health outcome.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. Your telomeres. So, okay, cool. Moved here. You're officially residents.
Yeah.
You've already been a resident. But I guess, do you have a least favorite part about Minnesota in general?
No.
Nah, I was going to say.
Like, it has been like everyone asks, like, how are the girls doing? How are you guys adjusting?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it couldn't have been a, like, knock on wood, smoother adjustment. Like, our kids don't ask about our old house or their old friends. Not that they didn't love them, but like, just everyone, we have fit in so well and have found our community and have our support system, and like not having long commutes so you can spend more time with the family.
Yeah.
Like the one downside would just be that I travel for work now I didn't have to do that before. Like that would be the only downside to this move.
And I'd say like the moment that you kind of felt it, for me at least, is I went back to DC for a work trip, and it didn't feel like home. It felt like just another work trip to, could have been Dallas, it could have been Denver, it could have been any other city. It just felt like a work trip as opposed to like, I'm coming back to home.
That's crazy after doing 13 years there.
Well, and it was, I told Rhea, as like the first, because I fly back there quite frequently. And so like, to me, it was this weird struggle of like thinking in my mind, oh, I'm home. And then being like, this isn't home. It never felt like home. Why am I having thoughts that this was home? And then being like, I went back to our neighborhood because I had to pick something up from the people who bought our house. And I just remember like walking up and being like, this doesn't feel right anymore. Like it's a good sign that that's how I physically feel being here.
Yeah.
This isn't it.
That's crazy. That's good. That's very good to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really the. Do you have a favorite thing about it, about the Twin Cities?
I do. I'll let you go first.
I mean, I think it's the people. Like, I really do like the people here. Like, I think everyone says it's the Minnesota niceness, and it's like insular, and, you know, our neighborhood's relatively young, people about our age, and, you know, we were moving in, people are coming in and saying hi. Like, the second day we were there, like, a couple of the neighborhood guys were like, oh, we're going to play golf. Do you want to come play golf with us? Like,
Sweet.
you know, that's like day 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And like from there, it's just kind of grown. So I think the people are definitely,
That's awesome.
one of the favorite things here.
Yeah. I was going to say just like the ability to have a community and feel part of something, which we didn't have before. And so like now I know if like, heaven forbid we get hit by a bus, like I have someone to call to come watch our kids, or like heaven forbid I want to go to like Valley Fair one day. I have 12 people I can be like, hey, you want to bring your kids too? Let's go. Like there's always something to do and someone to be around, and like it's just great having that.
Cool.
Do you feel like the pace of life is just a little more chill here? Or is it kind of a wash?
No, I think it's way slower pace here. Well, I mean, at times that can be a detriment too.
Yeah.
You just feel like this get on your way.
Also, we're not surrounded by the same, well, I'm not surrounded by the same people doing the same work that I am.
Yeah.
And so that changes dynamics a lot too. It's no longer about what connections do I have to help them in their work. It's more about like, who are you as a person, and how can we like figure out what connections we have as people in general. And that's nice. And that is slower than the hustle and bustle of the DC area.
That's why I asked. I feel like there's this perception that the East Coast is kind of like
Yeah.
more
Well, I do think that's like
crazy.
because of the traffic, you're always late no matter where you're going. And like that just like grates you, right? And then you're like more on edge because you're like, I don't have time for whatever this thing you're doing because I'm already late. I need to get to like my next thing. And now it's just like, oh, I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, that feeling. I mean, as realtors, you're late sometimes, and because you're just bopping all over the place.
Yeah.
And there's no more feeling of like, let's go, than when you're late.
Yeah.
But luckily, it's not as frequent here.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to get around unless you're going through the middle of the cities.
Yeah, you're less jammed up.
I will say that is like, so on my commute in that like 94 junction, it doesn't matter what time of day.
394 into 94. Yeah.
That's always backed up. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on here. It's the only part of the city that has any kind of traffic.
Yeah,
It's the worst spot for sure. Yeah. My old duplex where I lived for a few years was like kind of the only way to get here. I mean, it was only a reasonable way, you know? And there's parts where It's because it's one lane that leads to 94 east or west. People are just cutting in. People are stopping half a mile back in the other lane to try to get in. It's like the most chaotic.
and then get in right.
Well, no one
go
does
through
it though. Everyone just like waits in the lane, and no one.
So this is the problem: is you have an East Coast driver / city driver who's very aggressive, and then you have the Midwestern driver who's like, "We'll let everyone in, and we'll just all follow the rule,
Yeah.
not honk our horn."
We're notorious for not knowing what a zipper merge.
Apparently, people don't honk their horns. Is this a Minnesota thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I never used it until I was.
So you honk your horns. They're gonna know you're not from here.
Yeah, I was like,
People honk their horn here if it's like a safety thing, like, hey, you're about to hit me.
yeah.
It's not. It's not like a.
Well, I did.
You know.
I honked the other day at a truck because it was going to hit me. But
That's about it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's that's a crazy intersection, and I don't know what they're going to do to deal with it. If they ever deal with it, it's going to jam stuff up even more for a while. But yeah, they kind of gotta do something about it. If you can get that like HOV lane,
Yeah.
it's pretty good, like the Easy Pass. But the worst is
It's cheap too. I think it's worth it.
yeah. I don't know if you do that,
Insider tip here.
But yeah, the Easy Pass lane
It saves us.
to get to 94 is huge. Yeah, and it's like I maybe spend with all the driving I do, I'd maybe spend like $5 or $10 a month on Easy Pass lane.
yeah.
All day. If I was waiting in that line and somebody was like, "Give me $1 and you can bypass this," I'd be like, "Here you go."
Yeah. Well, now that I know,
$5.
I am reconsidering.
Yeah. It's the best. Same with like being on a plane. If somebody was like $30 and you can upgrade to a slightly more comfortable, you'd be like, "Please, it's have to take my money." Yeah.
Take my money.
Yeah. This is kind of a newer thing that we're trying to do. We're trying to compare the two places and give mostly so if somebody's coming from the DC area, this can kind of be like the most context they could find about like, well, how do they differ? And it's not necessarily like which one is better, it's not that. It's like, but like just more specifically, how do they actually compare? A bunch of different categories. You can be as quick or long-winded as you want. We've already kind of talked about it. The cost of living.
Yeah.
How does that compare? Is housing just a major thing, or was everything else?
I think housing.
Yeah, housing for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay. And something like double?
Yeah.
Equivalent house is something close to double?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also say childcare is probably about double.
Okay.
In DC as it is here.
Holy moly. Because it's not cheap here.
Yeah. Well, I think we don't have the perspective of what it cost before they got into elementary school, which is really where the big bucks can be. And I don't have a good idea if that's like 1-for-1 or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the preschools here.
Yeah. Okay.
But after school care is cheaper.
How does the housing inventory differ? Would you did you like what you saw here better or there?
It differs a lot, but like just as the Twin Cities are very diverse in the type of house you can find in different parts of the Twin Cities, like DC is the same way. And like we were in a townhouse before, like a 80s brick townhouse complex, and there were newer builds that you had to go farther out. So yeah, I think it just depends. I like a little bit more charm. We were driving in here and I was like, look at how beautiful these like old restored houses are, and Riaz is like, okay, yes, but we're in the city versus like being out in farmland that was turned into a community.
Yeah.
And you guys probably have a better sense than we do, but like there's also like a lot of times people want to be in a community, so they'll buy a house and tear it down and rebuild. So you have a lot of like tear downs and rebuilds versus like the original, and the rebuilds are like twice to 3 times the size of a house on the same lot. And you're like,
Have you been to Edina?
Yeah, you done
That was one of the things is like we knew coming into this that we were going to have we needed at least 1 office and potentially 2 because it was a hybrid situation for Riaz right now. And so like some of the older houses just didn't even have the square footage for us to be able to do it in our budget. Yeah. Like we would have had to like redone the whole entire inside to make it workable. And so that kind of eliminated some of the suburbs because they just didn't have what we needed.
I remember looking at Edina.
Yeah.
And like what your money got you was like, it was like, we could do this, but it would be so much more work to get to a similar place.
The barrier to entry to get what you guys got is just so much higher.
And even if it was not what they got, but just something that could work for them, it still would, purchase price would be similar, and then there would be months and months of renovation,
Yeah.
you know, for anything kind of comparable, you
Right.
know, so yeah.
I was just curious. The reason why I asked the question is regional differences in housing
Yeah.
can be like insane. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
sounds like the New England is not.
I gotta
great
assume there's
for-
some older houses than there are here, but y'all were definitely not looking at really any of that stuff.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What about how does the weather differ dramatically?
Yeah.
Well, having been in Maryland last week, it was over 100 and very humid, and it's not that here. So it may be hot here right now, but it's nothing like the East Coast summers.
So like the worst heat here, not even close.
No, like Riaz will start complaining, like, clearly you need to go back to Maryland. So we need to send you there. I
don't like it when it gets
so you
hot.
can remember what humidity feels like. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's humidity here, but not like just blast in your face. Can't walk outside humidity.
Yeah, you would. I mean, when I had to wear a suit, I would be sweating before I even got to the office. And you're just like, well, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Well, in the winter was, you know, there was crazy cold days, but we didn't leave the house, and that was on purpose.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really tell. And then, you know, we had some snow days where we were outside.
Yeah.
And that was all colder, but like,
Yeah. Snow on Halloween is new.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like snow is, I could be making this up, but I feel like winter is starting later and going later.
Talked about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's probably
Seasons are just kind of shifting on the calendar in general. I mean,
there's literally probably like scientists being like, well, yeah, you know, that's what's happening.
Weekends all
But
year.
yeah, I'm like, I think there's something happening.
we still have seasons, all four. So
Yeah.
Yeah. It just all seems to be like shifting, you know, a month later than when I was growing up, or 2 weeks later than when I was, something like that. But
yeah, we were talking about the fall break MEA and like how I'm not going to be like, it's still nice enough that it's not to the point where I want someplace really warm. Like, talk about February, and then I will feel cold and want warmness. But like, that's too early in the season for me because it still could be nice weather.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
all watching Vikings games and sports in November.
Yes.
How have you guys felt about, I know we kind of touched on this briefly, meeting people. I'd say it's easier here versus there, or kind of a wash.
it's much easier here. Like,
Glad to hear that.
does it have anything to do with the neighborhood, you think? Or have you found just even outside of the neighborhood?
well, so the people that we knew back there were because our kids had been in preschool together and had moved up. We don't have that advantage here because we moved in after that.
Yeah.
But our neighborhood is amazing. Like, everyone has been so welcoming, and like the kids for the most part seem to be around similar ages. And so like, it was easy for them to make friends and us to make friends with the parents of the kids as if we had been here this whole time.
Yeah.
And then we walked into obviously my Ola friends, St. Ola friends and their kids and families here. So that's been great. And Nathan and Lizzie.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, because there is kind of, you can look in Reddit and see that people say it's impossible to make friends here. Because they're like, everybody's known each other since they were kids. And I'm like, maybe there are ages where there's some truth to that, but
And you're always going to have cliques that you're not going to be in. Like, even as adults, like the ladies of the neighborhood have their cliques, and some of them I don't fit in with, and there's others that I do. And at this point in my life, I don't care. Like, I'm going to hang out with the people that are cool and that I get along with. And like, so we spend our time there.
yeah, for sure.
That keeps us plenty busy, don't it?
Yeah. Good.
It's like, we don't have room for more friends. Please don't think that this is an invitation.
Start saying no. Our calendar is full.
Yeah. That's good. Glad to hear that, though. Seriously.
Yeah, agreed. Kids finding, they're just making friends easy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And it's nice because you can just kind of like send them out.
Yeah.
That's definitely not something you would necessarily do in Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Glad to hear that. How about, to the extent that you dealt with the job market, is it harder to find work here? Is it just your industry has had less of it, or
I mean, I've really haven't experienced it.
Okay.
Well, we have very niche jobs.
Yeah.
And so, like, it would be hard for you if you weren't working for...
There are probably like 3 companies in this area that I would even consider.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very niche job. But like, you know, we hear what's going on around
Yeah.
in our community about kind of the job market. So
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I've not been in the job market for at least 5 years since I started doing this. But
I think one of the things that was interesting is like the more you talk to people, you understand how many companies are headquartered in Minnesota. Like, you obviously think of the big ones like Target and 3M and others, but like you're like, oh, I didn't realize they were headquartered here. Or I didn't realize they were headquartered here. Like,
Yeah.
and it's diverse too. It's not just one industry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Very good, variety of industry such that like, I think we're to some degree buffered from economic, issues in like the grand scheme, like similar to like Detroit, just got decimated because they had one industry, one main industry. Yeah. Whereas we have so many, it's, yeah.
I think we were second to Delaware only in Fortune 500 headquarters for a long time.
Yeah. Per capita, it's the most here.
Tell the truth.
Yeah. But so, okay. How about, I do know that there's a weird stat about the St. Paul and Minneapolis in particular, like those city propers are ranked number 2 and 3 on access to parks.
No.
And it's second to DC.
Yeah.
And I'm curious about, I've always thought like, but like what kind of parks? Is it like these, or is it like
national monuments?
Yeah, is it like that kind of park? And is it all touristy?
How does the natural beauty compare?
The natural beauty and the access to parks and access to green spaces and stuff like that.
The DC area has a ton of green space. It's one of the reasons why it was okay on my list of places to move. Because being from Iowa, like I didn't want a big city. I didn't want to be in concrete. Like I wanted to be able to see some greenery.
Yeah.
And DC does a fabulous job. There's a lot of parks. There's a lot of trees and green space and opportunities to get on the water, go hiking, go to the mountains. Like they just have everything within like a 3-hour drive. Here, the parks have been so fabulous. Like that was like the first thing we did with the girls was go around and like try out the parks that everyone had pointed out. What is it? Three River District. And going around to those. So like, I think the playgrounds are fabulous here and much bigger and like better, but the access is about the same as far as like trying to get outdoors and engaged.
Yeah, cool. And very low friction to get to any of that stuff.
Yeah.
You just go and park and do your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Three Rivers is awesome.
Yeah.
Was
Less metric.
in DC, I guess maybe you were far enough out to where like the friction to do that kind of thing wasn't so bad. It was more just like getting into the center of the city
like where the monuments are. It wasn't terrible,
but
you had to go kind of early.
Okay.
Well, and also, like, we were at the point where we had smaller kids, and so you weren't going to schlep in just to go to a museum with the kids.
Yeah.
Like, that is, like, we'll still take the traditional DC trip at some point with our kids to do all the things that we didn't do and should have done with them, but they wouldn't have remembered, so. And you, typically, anywhere you live, like, you're going to avoid high touristy places if you don't like crowds, which I don't like crowds, so.
Yeah.
We avoided those places.
Totally. It's fair. Yeah. Okay. What about, like, have you noticed a difference? You're commuting to Minneapolis, to the city? Okay. Is there a difference in like the city? Is one cleaner? Or I gotta assume DC did an okay job, but I don't know. I haven't been in downtown.
DC's pretty good. The city here, I think it's very clean. It's interesting. So I just come in, like my office is at 4th and Nicollet, so off of 394. I'm not much of a drive once I get off there.
Yeah.
I just don't see people walking on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Like in DC, you have to like avoid the people trying to turn or do anything like that.
Yeah.
The people are down here. I just don't see them walking on the sidewalk. I don't know if that's where my office is relative to downtown. And like, obviously with most people being hybrid, there's certain days where the Skyway is busy.
Yeah.
But like, I know the people are here. I just don't see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were told pretty early on that there are certain corporations that have everyone in the office on certain days. And like you can tell when during the month that's happening based on traffic and number of people you see outside. So I don't think you've actively tracked that, but I'm sure you can tell those days.
The middle of the week is heavier, but it's not like demonstrably heavier.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I suppose there's parking ramps, there's skyways, so yeah, you might not just be walking on the street to get to wherever you're going. Interesting. Okay, and then 4th and Nicollet, probably 394 to like the 4th Street exit.
Yeah, they're like 2.5 blocks maybe.
From the highlight, yeah. So
that's part of it.
Yeah. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, our downtown's going through a little growing pains right now anyway.
Yeah, it just shifted. All the activity shifted to the North Loop, so while Nicollet Mall used to be kind of cool and it's like there's not much going on there anymore, but so much of that activity has shifted over to North Loop, which is now the cool spot, So, and actually downtown East is getting cooler. Yeah, it's just that kind of commercial or central business district is just like, there's not much going on there, you know?
So much has changed. Yeah, it's COVID.
Yeah.
With how people are working.
Yeah. Even this neighborhood, which is on the other side of the river, is being built up and is more lively, which, yeah, it's kind of weird. There's all this kind of cool potential in there, just like not getting used that much, you know? Yeah. But, okay, how about
Schools, how do they differ?
Well, actually,
I think
were your kids in school before?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
How old
think
is it?
schools are comparable.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that has always been, regardless of where we moved, a high priority for us. So we've always moved to good school districts.
Yeah. And yeah, you're in Wayzata school district right now, which is the top in the state. And where the DC district that you're in, was that ranking very, very high within DC?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was one of the top.
Okay, cool. Is there any like noticeable difference?
No, I think the only frustration that I've had with the changing schools and the difference in school district was there is a difference when your child comes up through kindergarten and you have done the orientations, and we got here a week before school started, and they didn't have the capacity or ability to do any of that with us. And so I still get notices from friends about things happening, and I'm like, how did you know that? What did I miss? What class did I not get? And they're like, oh, well, because you had the moms from the kindergartners all know that this happens on these dates. And I'm like, well, I can't fix that, but if there's a resource that anyone wants to develop out there for those moving in on how to deal with the transitions for school districts, that would be cool.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. What grade were your girls in? Or grade?
We had one going into kindergarten.
Okay.
And then one going into second grade when we moved.
Okay.
But we had missed all the kindergarten orientation stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. I remember I missed the first class of a college class. It was the only thing I ever failed because I was like, "What are we doing?"
It's like such a You're like, who knew?
Yeah, and the teacher just never caught me up. I was like, I literally don't even know what you're talking about. You know, like when you say this is a thing, I'm like, I don't what is? Yeah, I have no concept of the world we're living in when we're talking about this stuff. Yeah, it was very weird. Yeah, it was like trying to learn a language and not knowing the alphabet.
Yeah.
You know, well, I don't know. What are we doing? Yeah. Okay. What about, did you take any public transportation in DC?
Yes.
Okay.
Pre-kids.
I got to assume it's better than here, but you probably haven't done any here.
I haven't taken anything.
Okay.
We also don't have access to any, in DC, we were off a metro that we could take in any place we lived. We don't have a metro out by us.
I mean, I can't speak for here. The big draw taking the metro in DC is it's much faster than driving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And much probably cheaper than driving.
Yeah.
In case you're and parking.
Yeah, certainly not from where y'all are at here. The bus would take longer.
Right.
I mean, maybe it'd be cheaper, but it would take way, way longer.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Taxes. Is it a wash? Income, property taxes.
It's actually really funny you asked this question.
Because we were talking about it yesterday.
So Minnesota has higher taxes than Maryland across the board. But I was like, I actually see what our tax dollars are doing in Minnesota. In Maryland, it's the roads are terrible. The services sometimes aren't great. Yeah. And I was yesterday, I was like, oh, look at all this construction that they're doing. This park is nice. I see what they're I'm happy to pay my taxes if it's getting put back into the community. And I just feel that way about Minnesota. I don't know if it's true or not, but
I think it's
recycling all those services, great.
Yeah.
But they came and I don't know the correct term, but I'm going to use my version of it. But they painted our roads to make it better.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's nice. And apparently they do it every 2 years. They come by and paint our roads in the spring.
Yeah.
Yes, we are old. These are the conversations we have.
It's prudent, you know?
Yeah, it is. I mean, and it's a very common complaint, or places, there are people coming from Texas where they're there's no income tax or for a state. Then it's well, yeah, look at it. You can tell, I can tell. And they collect a lot of taxes from other things. Yeah. So people are no, you end up, if you own a house, you maybe can pay more taxes in Texas than here. But yeah, the services are very suboptimal.
They like to think they're at least trying to spend the money well here.
Yeah.
I mean, but that goes back to the parks and all the community centers we go to. They're super nice, and it's like a couple bucks to take advantage of stuff. And you're like, oh, yeah, no question.
So, and like, that was like, the other day, my in-laws were in town and we went to one across in a different suburb because we had heard how great and amazing it was. And even as a non-resident, it was like $4 per person to get into their water park. Like,
That's great.
That's insane.
Yeah, sweet. I love that. That's very good to hear. It's always nice when like the things that I think are true, when people say that.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool.
I just love you getting stoked about them doing road construction.
Well, he complained about it at the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
let's.
Yeah, it's like, what is-
why are all the roads closed? There really is only construction and then like summer or winter here.
Winter and construction, yeah.
But like I mean, growing up in Toronto, we never did like, not to this level. Like there obviously was construction season, but like every road that I take to go anywhere had been closed that part of the summer to be redone. And you're like, okay, I guess that's good.
Last year, right outside our office, it was like,
Yeah, there were so many main areas in Minneapolis proper that were just like the main core. 50th in France. This is 4th and Hennepin. Like all of Hennepin and Uptown. Yeah, it was crazy. You're like, how do you get anywhere? But yeah, and traffic is pretty much always worse in the summer here.
Yeah.
I think people expect it would be way worse in the winter because of snow. But they're not doing construction.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
most things are open. But
They closed like one weekend. I had to get to the airport and I'd leave like just enough time to get in, and they closed 494 completely.
Yeah.
And I had to like go around and get back on. I was like, well, I did not expect.
yeah.
I understand that taking it down to one lane, but like the higher.
Yeah.
494 is good.
Yeah. Speaking of, 494 is always my least favorite highway, but other than the 394 exchange. Speaking of airport, how does the airport kind of compare? Obviously, y'all had more airports.
Yeah.
But do you like the airport here compared to the?
Yes, it's so easy. Well, I go in and out of the smaller terminal a lot, and it's amazing. I park, I walk in, I have TSA pre-check, I have my carry-on. It takes me 10 minutes every time.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculously easy.
Yeah. That small terminal is crazy. It's so easy. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's a great airport. I was amazed at how expensive the parking is at the airport. And there's only one option.
Okay. I only Uber, so I actually don't know how that is.
But like, I was like, at our other airports, you had like 4 different lots you could park in.
Yeah.
But here it's just like one, but that's a small complaint.
Yeah.
But no, the airport's, I think it's fantastic. And knock on wood, it's very reliable.
Yeah.
They always do a good job at MSP.
Yeah.
We were voted the best airport in the country. I think North America.
That's because I mean, and Terminal 2 is it's like going to a library. It's just
It's so easy.
it's so fast. It's crazy.
I hate going out of the other terminal now, but I recommend it.
Yeah.
But also it feels safe, like especially flying in and out of the DC airspace and having, a number of incidents and tragic deaths happen.
Yeah.
Like it's safe, and I don't ever feel like I have to worry about that. Also, knock on wood.
Not a huge military presence here. That's air sharing.
No, agreed. Yeah.
Right.
That was so crazy.
Cool. That sounds good. We'll call it there for the here or there or whatever we're calling that section. But cool. That's very helpful. And we'll probably chop that up and put it into kind of its own little video. Also, I think we're going to move on to a thought experiment.
Oh, great.
Which I'm very curious to hear your, given where you are, neighborhood, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. You have 2 options. You have to choose one. You could take your current home and move it anywhere in the metro to like your ideal spot. It could also be across the neighborhood or, or build your dream home on your current lot.
I'd move ours.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you where?
Well, I mean, like,
Maybe.
What are you waiting for?
we would, given those options, I would move to waterfront property. That would be my answer. But absent that, I would build our house on our lot.
I was either going to move our house to a waterfront property or move it to the inside. Like if we couldn't afford a waterfront property, then I would.
In this case, you could.
Okay, well then waterfront property.
Okay, cool.
Then we don't have to talk about a cabin.
True. Kind of on the same line of thinking, if you had to move somewhere else, like, couldn't even be in your same neighborhood or, where would you move?
Within the Twin Cities or anywhere?
Yeah, within the Twin Cities. Just the waterfront thing?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And would it be Lake Minnetonka waterfront?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I don't have a budget,
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where I want to be.
Okay, cool. Now, a pretty common answer, actually, even for people who live like, in the North Metro or something. You're like, anywhere? Yeah. Which is why it's so expensive there.
Yeah.
'Cause given the choice, that's where a lot of people would move.
A lady can dream.
Yeah. Yeah. Real quick, in talking about the schools again, do you have any tips to somebody who's navigating the public schools, like moving in? You were like, somebody could make a resource. Do you have any, like, a blip of a resource for, go to orientation? Try to make it to orientation?
Yeah, we were super lucky. One of my friends from Olaf actually in her previous job evaluated schools around the Twin Cities. She's an educator. And so she was able to sit and walk us through the statistics and what was, from her perspective, falsely or truthfully reported and what they actually meant regarding school districts. I can't shop her out to everyone, but find your friend who can read those statistics well, because that was the most hopeful thing. And then, like, I know Wayzata school districts, one of the best, if not the best, school districts in the area, also comes with a stigma when you tell people who don't live there that you're in that school district. And so trying to figure out what that actually meant or why people react in certain ways was important, because as an outsider, I just didn't understand, how people feel about certain school districts.
Or how people feel about saying they go to a Wayzata school. I've never seen so many people wear Wayzata hats or Trojan Pride or
like
all this stuff.
Our kids are already indoctrinated and know the school songs that they sing for literal time. Like, it is kind of a cult-like atmosphere over in the Wayzata school district.
Udine is the same way.
Yeah. And also kind of has the, you say that, and, it makes you think it's a certain thing. But
right.
Yeah.
I will say one of the things that was super helpful for us, and like you kind of only, this is, neighborhood dependent, is because we were like welcomed into the community so easily, like just talking to the parents that have gone through it, they know, like, you should do this or you should do that, or like, here's the aftercare program that we use, you might want to consider it. Like, that's been super helpful, just having the community parents be like, here are the things we are doing.
Well, so that's a really good point, because that was one of the things that gave me the most heartburn was the after school care, because the one that was provided at the school was already full, and they actually had already closed their wait list because we were a week away from school starting. Yeah. And I just called and said, what do you use? And so, like, what other programs do people go to? And the school was honest about that.
Okay, that's nice. Now we're going to play a game called How Minnesotan Are You?
Okay.
Oh, no.
I don't think we're going to do well, but we'll give it a try.
You'd be surprised. Yeah, that's true. And
we get to
also
answer together, or we each have to answer separately?
I would say they're both separate.
Yeah. I think I'm more Minnesotan.
We'll probably grade you as a group.
Okay. Are we allowed into the club or not? That's what we want to know at the end.
And I'd like to say that too Minnesotan isn't necessarily good.
Okay, so I strike the balance. What I know or don't know.
Totally. It's okay to not be 100% Minnesota. Especially with these rains. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Have you been to the state fair yet?
No.
Okay.
But it's on our list to do.
That would have been a lot in moving in last year.
Yeah.
While the fair was going on.
Well, and I don't like crowds, if we recall. So we'll do this once and see how it goes.
Yeah.
That is a very popular question that we get.
A lot.
Have you been to the state fair yet? Why didn't you go last year? Like,
oh, you haven't? Yeah.
Why have you not been twice?
Yeah.
Right.
Year?
And people are like, oh, we plan a day that we go just the adults, and then we have a day that we go with the family, and you have to be here on here, and like you take the bus from here to there. And I'm like,
well, yeah.
It's intense about this fair.
It's very much
it's a good time.
It's an event. Yeah.
We'll ask us next year how we felt about it this year and if we're going back.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm a fan of evening.
Evening?
Yeah, but some people get there right away, and then you avoid kind of the mid-afternoon crowds. I like the evening. I think people have kind of, filtered out a little bit, but yeah.
I'm a 12er, 10 to 10. Really?
Wow.
Two times. I love fair.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I love it.
No, not me. Not that. Yeah, no way. Okay. Have you been to Valley Fair?
Yes, we
Multiple times.
are path holders.
No, I will. Oh man, it's middle school.
What's the guy's on?
Yeah.
You have a favorite ride about her?
I like the water one. What's that called?
Oh, the wave.
The wave.
The one right when you enter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be prepared to be completely soaked. It's not like the log ride where you just get semi-wet. This is like full body soak.
Yeah. Like the whole car is like under
Yeah.
water. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly great at getting you wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, dang, Valley Fair would be fun. I've been forever.
Really?
Oh, you should.
Yeah, it's a great time. Yeah, what's
What's your ride?
Probably Wilton.
yeah.
For sure. Wow. For sure.
We have a child who likes Delirious, though.
Her favorite ride is Delirious.
I don't know if I know that one.
Our 6-year-old. It's just a circle that goes around.
And you have whirled at the top upside down.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't do it.
Our 6-year-old has no fear, and I've been nominated as the one that has to go with her on all these rides.
So you have no.
Have you gone back during Halloween for like Valley Scare?
No, but we're excited.
Yeah. Or Trail of Terror if they're still doing that over at Shakopee. I used to do that in high school.
Yeah. Do you feel any way, one way or the other, about Caribou Coffee?
I'm still a Starbucks fan.
Okay.
That's because in part I don't know my Caribou equivalent.
Yeah.
But they have good smoothies.
Nope. I don't think I've ever had a smoothie yet.
Well, you should try it. I think there's 3 options.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had it. It's fine. I think kind of the same thing just because I've been drinking Starbucks for so long.
Yeah.
Well, then you're a Tim Hortons fan.
I am a Tim Hortons
So
fan.
makes it down here.
Yeah. I feel like if you like Tim Hortons, you'll find Caribou acceptable.
Yeah.
Same with.
I don't know what that means, but I will not be insulted by it.
Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. I'd say they're both fine. Have you ever owned a winter beater? I'm more thinking
I don't even know
Like the
what
the
that
vehicle.
is. Oh, no.
Specifically for the winter.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I'm docking you points for not knowing, but yeah. Okay.
I've only partially owned one car in my entire life. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Crazy.
He's about to own his second.
about all.
Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah. How exciting. Okay.
I've got one.
Go.
Have you ever had a hot dish?
Yeah, of course.
All right, cool.
Do you like hot dish?
Okay, can we deal with surprise stories?
He's like,
I don't even remember what birthday that was, but when we were in DC, when we first moved, like I said, we had a bunch of folks and most were Midwesterners. So Riaz, for one of his birthdays, we all had to bring a hot dish and then he judged them. And I still remember it because I did not win, even though I brought the one that was the green bean casserole with the French onions on top.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creativity was one of the things I did.
Okay, it was like a poutine one that someone made into
A poutine. Think about that.
The Canadian
Poutine
yeah,
hot.
exactly.
I'm not mad at it.
I am. I'm still bitter, and I still think I won.
Hot dish has to have tater tots in it.
Did anybody move haters hot dish?
That's like the OG in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, this was like a decade ago.
Yeah.
Wait, then are you saying the green bean casserole doesn't count as a hot dish?
I think that's a casserole.
Yeah. Hot dish to me is like tater tots.
Maybe we don't know the definition of hot dish.
Corn. Yeah.
It's basically a casserole, but do you
But with-
call it a hot dish? You don't call it green bean hot dish.
Green bean casserole to me is like a Thanksgiving side. Yeah. Tater tot hot dish to me is the OG.
It's a whole
When
meal.
people don't think we have hot dishes in Iowa, I think we just call them casserole.
Probably. Yeah. I think, a hot dish is like a whole meal. A casserole is a side. That's how I kind of look at it.
Yeah.
And it has to have tater tots.
No.
Oh.
If you're asking me, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the most iconic, but no, it doesn't have to. It kind of has to. I think it has to be like, you could just have that on your plate.
Yeah.
Okay, then we did it wrong and we need to repeat this.
We do.
10 years on, I think it's good time.
Now we've seen the error of our ways.
Yeah. Oh, Dad.
Fair. You're saying we need it while it rains.
No.
You haven't seen it need it too bad. It's been
No.
yeah, so
But I feel like we
But we needed that.
yeah.
Yeah. I feel like people in our neighborhood have talked about it because they're very weird about their grass. And it's like, oh, your grass is getting birth there.
It was dry for a few years here, so I feel like people are kind of stoked about the rain this year.
Yeah.
The masterpiece of the lawn.
Yeah.
That's fair.
What do you put your groceries in? How would you pronounce that?
A bag.
A bag.
A bag.
All right, one more time.
Bag.
That was close. It was on the fence.
A bag.
Okay, yeah. It was kind of in between. Okay.
Yeah, it was. At that slide.
You know what the Schwann's man is?
Yes.
I do not.
No, we ordered from them all the time growing up.
In Iowa.
Yeah.
Okay, I would.
Midwest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's total Midwest.
Which I do think, by virtue of being Midwestern, you are slightly more Midwestern.
I know.
By default.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's like
But you're also Canadian.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's also Canada.
Let's just clear this up. She was born in Florida, if that makes a difference.
Okay, I lived in Florida for 2 weeks and then moved to Iowa, and that was unexpected.
Technically.
I was supposed to be born in Iowa,
Where were you raised in Iowa?
Cedar Rapids.
Okay, cool.
We're Floridian blood, though.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a Hawkeye, sports fan through and through. I do not cheer for the Gators, even though I was born at Shands Hospital.
Have you ever hit a deer with a car?
No, and I hope never to.
Okay. I hope the same. There you go. Yeah. Okay.
Have you jumped into a frozen lake?
I have not.
We have not. Our children did.
Long time. Cool.
Have you ever gone into the snow after the sauna?
No, but our children have done that.
Yes, they both did as well.
A snow angel. It's a good time after a sauna.
In your defense, Riaz didn't make it up to the cabin that weekend, so he couldn't. He probably would have had he been given the opportunity.
Fair.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt there.
Fit. What do you call the yard game with the bean bags in the hole?
Eggs.
Dag.
Okay. All right. Correct. I think. Have you been to a meat raffle?
No.
A meat raffle? Dare I ask what this is?
You got to get a little bit out of town for those.
Yeah, true. Well, y'all are pretty close to being a little bit out of town. Yeah. You go 20 minutes west.
Buffalo.
And yeah, you could find yourself a meat raffle. It's literally what it sounds like.
Yeah.
You're raffling off meat in in dive bars or VFWs or, yeah, it's a good time. Usually.
Jason more to add to our bucket.
I didn't know I needed it on my bucket.
Have you ever played pull tabs? You don't strike me as pull tab people, but.
I have not, but I know what they are. I've been to a bar with them.
Okay.
Does that kind of count?
That's better. Yeah.
Was it a VFW?
Yeah.
Why it wasn't.
Was there a meat raffle?
It was not.
Okay. Yeah, it's a weird gambling thing that only happens in bars, basically, in like dive bars. Yeah.
Have you ever said, "Oh, that was a bloody one," after smacking a mosquito on your body?
No.
No.
Okay. It's delightful. Have you caught a fish in Minnesota?
No.
No.
Have you caught a fish in life?
Yes.
Okay.
We have some street cred.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Can you bait your own hook?
Yes.
Okay.
Would I? Probably not. Okay.
Great. Do you ever call it pop?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
Interesting. Yeah. That's a rare one. Most people are like, no.
Pop. I even call it soda. Sure.
Same.
Restaurants, honestly.
I knew pop.
I mean, that's what you call it at least in Ontario. I don't know what you call it.
Interesting. I like it. That's good. That's, literally, I think, a first. Okay.
Let's see.
Have you been to Menards?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And we know the theme song. No, we will not sing it.
Okay. Yeah, they play that a lot in the store. It's crazy. Yeah.
It's those rebates, man.
Are you on a Menards email list by chance? Do you get emails from Menards?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did we miss that? We live there.
I don't even know how you get on it.
Oh.
That's kind of the weird
secret club.
Yeah, you just start getting receipts or not even receipt. Yeah, okay. You mail in one rebate and then they're like, here's email.
I didn't know we needed to mail in a rebate. So this is new to me. I love you.
11%.
I just assumed it came off. I didn't realize I had to do something.
Yeah, it's a mail-in rebate.
Think about all the money I've been wasting.
There goes our cabin.
That's how they get.
We could be on Lake Minnetonka now with my Menards money.
Yeah, 11% back. Yeah. It's there are people who wait for the 11% rebate to buy.
I thought it was ongoing.
No. Yeah.
Oh, only certain days?
Only certain period of time, I guess. It's like a sale, It's not like Kohl's where everything is on sale all the time. It's like sometimes they have an 11%.
And do they advertise it, or this is like end of mouth?
Yeah, probably the emails that we're not getting. It's come full circle.
That's true.
It's like on the top
Or billboards. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
front page of all their adverts when it's going on.
Yeah. Wow. They go nuts on it. Have you been to a fleet farm?
No.
Okay.
Have you ever eaten walleye?
Yes.
Yes. Last night.
Nice.
Really? Wow, crazy. Have you ever been to Brainerd?
No.
Yes.
Okay. You ever been up north?
You
Did
have.
Plymouth count?
No.
Yeah.
No. Okay. I would say minimum 2 hours outside of the Twin Cities.
This is a cabin weekend he missed.
Oh, okay.
This is the issue.
You'll get there.
But there's different versions of up north.
Oh,
there's
for
my
sure.
version and Jesse's version.
Yeah.
Mine is like Chain of Lakes, Walker, and yours is
North Shore.
North Shore,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Lake Superior.
But yeah, more or less, there's the whole top region of Minnesota is up north. Yeah.
Once you're kind of like past Mille Lacs in any direction.
Yeah. Even once you get to it, I think it counts. Okay.
We're over here. Just
You ever had a popover?
No.
I don't even know what that is. Okay.
You don't know what a popover
What
is?
is a popover?
Is that like a little thing that you get at like a buffet? Is it
mean,
like a little dough thing?
Maybe
Is that what I'm
you
thinking of?
could get it at a buffet. Yeah, it's like an egg roll, but it's not an egg roll. It's like a bun that you would have on the side of a meal. Usually
I know what
with,
you're
like,
talking
with,
about.
Honey butter. They're very good. They're mostly made of like egg whites, and they're very fluffy. And
They're served at like salad bars, aren't they?
I don't know about salad bars.
That's where I've had them.
There's typically served at like gatherings, at like holidays and stuff like
So
that.
it'd be something that you'd be like, oh, I'll be in charge of the popovers.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, but you can get them at like there's like a really good restaurant in the Mall of America.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if we have to include this. But yeah, they sell a popover. It's like the part of the Radisson Blue or whatever. They have like the restaurant that's attached to it. They sell a popover. It's very, very good. But yeah.
Put me on game here, dude.
Yeah. That's crazy. You didn't know what a popover is.
And because I'm not very Minnesotan.
Yeah. Have you ever sat in a giant Adirondack chair?
Yes, they're not here.
Okay. Still counts.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you been to a hockey game? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Youth or Minnesota Wild?
It's been, yeah.
Well, we've gone to support multiple of our friends in the neighborhood's kids at their hockey game.
Yeah, it's there. I mean, yeah. Why is
With some-
it a hockey year? Yeah. Yeah.
Or do you guys have like a pond in your neighborhood that freezes over that turns into a rink?
There is one, but would I suggest using it? Probably not. Do people? Yes.
Okay. Okay. Very common thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should add that to the list. Have you made a rink in your yard?
I might have it somewhere on here. I got a long list.
Super common. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of hockey nets out there.
Backyard ice rinks.
Yeah. There's like their services.
Yeah, they're like
and
come
do
put it up and
and take it down for you.
yeah, it's crazy.
No, he will not be doing that.
Yeah.
No,
Have you ever driven a Zamboni?
No.
Ridden one?
and how do I do that?
Yeah.
I think you could ride on one. A lot of times at youth hockey games, there'll be a rider, and it'll just be like a kid just being like,
Okay, but what about an adult?
Yeah.
I'm a teen adult, so
How would I do? I've got to figure this.
you got to know somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I really don't know how. I've always wondered, but yeah.
When I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Okay, so it's like I got an in. How far in advance do you make an MEA reservation or plan?
Well, we're starting already, but we're behind the 8 ball. We recognize that because I thought I was having to travel over MEA, but now I don't have to.
Yeah.
So I think you start a year out.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you're making next year plan, but maybe you have to try.
I feel like we have to ask this one. Have you, I assume it's a yes, but have you partaken in and / do you know what a Minnesota goodbye is?
No.
Okay, then let me rephrase it. If you're at a gathering with people, about how long does it take you to leave once you've announced your departure?
An hour.
Okay. So you have. Okay. Yeah. So, okay.
The 5 more minutes turns into.
It's a running joke.
Yeah.
You stand up from the sofa, then you chat, you go to the door, you chat.
Yeah.
It just never ends.
Yeah.
And then you get into some other thing,
Yeah.
Wish there were more Irish goodbyes happening around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. And then on a similar note, if you were at a gathering with food, maybe with friends, or maybe with family, how many times would you cut the last piece of something in half before just taking the last thing?
Oh.
I feel like your family is really bad at that.
Yeah, yours just taped, so they wouldn't
Let's go. My people. Seriously.
Yeah. Mine, it would be like you would have this much of something left.
Yeah.
No one would want to
easily-
eat the bit of.
Yeah.
We talked about on the most recent one too, the 4-way stop sign stalemate. Have you ever had that where it's like,
Minnesota standoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's where the like aggressive East Coast driving kicks in, where we're both like, okay, fine.
Someone
No
tell
one's
them
gonna go. We'll go.
that's what I do then.
We may have been here last, but
Yeah, that is a weird thing. We're like, I'm for sure was the last person who showed up, but no one's got to start.
Someone's gotta try.
They'll wave you on too if they got there before you. You're like, no, just go. You were here.
I remember when we first started dating, and I did those things where I was nice and let people in, and you were like, whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a Midwesterner. You let people in.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll all get there.
Eventually. Okay. Do you find yourself saying "ope"?
Oh,
Ope.
No.
no.
You ever heard somebody say "ope"?
No.
Maybe you will know.
Yeah. Maybe
Somebody-
they take a 10. Yeah.
Somebody scooches by you. Oh, they're gonna say that. Oh,
Yeah, you've never done that? Interesting.
Oh.
In a Menards, I mean, like,
Or somebody for sure said it. Or imagine if you were reaching for something at the same time as someone else. Oh, sorry. That's
No, I mean, I'm going to pay attention.
Yeah.
You'll hear it. There's no way you won't hear it all the time.
Now you will. Before now.
It's like oops or excuse me, but it's
Yeah.
kind of just ope.
Yeah. That's a great way.
I was 40.
Yeah. We have some homework assignments.
I can't stop hearing it now.
Yeah. It's everywhere. Yeah. Okay.
I feel like ope is the real life version of what people say about oofda here. I don't hear people saying that all the time. They ope everywhere.
I've heard oofda more than clearly ope.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of say oofda in jest, right? As kind of like, it's a kind of like a gag.
Yeah.
It's fun to say. But ope is just
Automatic.
You don't even, you just react, Oh, yeah. Cool.
Funny.
I'd say combined, probably about 3 out of 5 you betches.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You betches? I'd say.
That's pretty good for our first year.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Maki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hot dish, even though it wasn't really hot dish back in the day. Yeah, those are pretty big ones.
Yeah. We're gonna
It has fries, which are very similar to.
That's true. Poutine is very adjacent to a hot dish, but
We'll allow that.
but not the same thing.
That's yeah.
yeah. Okay. All right. Last thought. Is there any advice you would give to anybody moving, maybe from the DC area, or anything to prepare them for, or anything that you did that you wish you did differently?
Trust the process. Jesse does know what he's talking about, and his team. Even if you have a quick turnaround, it will work out. It's stressful, but take a deep breath and you'll be okay.
Keep pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Great. Thank you.
Yep. That's and we're done.
And we're done.
Here's your money.
Clip that. Yeah. Okay.